Hi Catherine, so in this video I'm just going to cover the basics of Instagram and how to use it. You may have done posts before, but this is just one of my customers' Instagram accounts that I run for. So you obviously may access this on your phone, but just for a recording video I'm using my computer, but basically the principles are the same. So the first thing is, if you went to create a post, it would ask you where your photo is. So I'm just going to do this for one of my customers. As an example. So I'm just going to take a photograph from their account. So we'll just take this one as an example. You position your image on the phone. That is very similar how that works. So if this was one of your products, you would just put your product in here. You'd hit next. Then you've got options to edit. So it starts to put filters on. If you want to change the colors, or if you think it could be do with being a bit brighter or more vibrant colors, you've got various filters. You can use these. I don't tend to be honest. But by clicking the filters, it will show you what it's going to do to the image. So different sort of filters change the colors and the shadows and the tones. So yeah, you can find a filter that you like. You can also reduce how much of the filter is on, how much of it is actually going to take effect. Get your image so that you're happy with it. You then have adjustments here if you need it, so things like the brightness of the image, the contrast, the saturation, the temperature, so you can play around with those, get the image exactly as you want it. Obviously the idea being the image should look as nice and appealing as possible. So then when you're happy with that, you click next. This is where you need to start thinking about tagging and writing your caption. So the trick really with Instagram is not to have a massive caption. So if this is a product that you're selling, you'd have a quick, punchy kind of caption about what it is and the size and something like that. So if this was one of your products, let's say it's a piece of fabric, you would write down any brand name of the fabric, you'd write down the type of material it is, the color, and any sort of pattern information. So generally you'd write sort of a paragraph about what it's about. And I can just sort of show you what I write for one of my customers. So if we go onto the last post I did for them. So if we copy that, this was the post that I did for them. The caption for this post was basically, book 3 nights at Bell Cottage this month from just £285. So they tend to put prices on their Instagram posts. You don't have to do that. But they tend to find people react better if they know what it's going to cost them, if there's an offer on or a deal. I'm going to cover tagging products and actually being able to buy products in a different video, which I'll send you separately, because that does require some setup. So effectively, you'd write whatever your caption was relevant to the image you're posting. Like I say, if it's fabric, you'd write relevant things. You don't want to write a massive paragraph, although you can write as much as you like. It's not really a good idea. People scroll through their Instagram quite quick. So a quick punchy statement about what you're trying to offer or what the product is better than writing lots and lots of sentences. And then after you've written the sentence that you're happy with, so we're going to use that, it's all then about hashtags. So you put the hashtags that are relevant to what you're promoting. So in this instance, it's a holiday cottage and it's booking a night away. So I would always start with the most relevant is a holiday cottage. I notice when you type that in, it sort of recommends other ones that you could potentially use as well, other hashtags that are popular. So we type holiday cottage again, and it says actually, it will tell you roughly there's 105,000 posts relating to holiday cottages with an S on the end. So we'll click that. We'll type it in again. And then it also recommends putting in holiday cottages UK. So we'll pop those 3 to start with. And then hopefully, I think I'll probably, thinking of their industry, it's about accommodation. So there's a lot of posts on accommodation. You can see 1.1 million posts. So that's a very good hashtag to use. You want to be using the more popular relevant hashtags. It's also a self-catering cottages. So we'll put in self-catering. It will recommend that we use the actual term self-catering. And if you notice, if we type that in again, it's got some other recommendations for us. So self-catering accommodation. So we'll use that. And we'll use self-catering cottage. So the top sort of 3 they recommend. So we're here with using some good hashtags which will help us reach more people. And then lastly, I'm going to just drop in holiday. And then it recommended holidays. So we use holidays. And I'm actually going to use a locator for this one because it's in Suffolk. So that's a good idea of an Instagram post that works. It's a punchy statement, it's a nice photograph, it's got relevant hashtags to reach people. So the final stage is you add the location, and here it's school farm cottages. So that's everything you need. We've adjusted the image, we've uploaded it, we've tweaked the colours, we've made it look nice, we've put a sensible and relevant punchy paragraph about what we're trying to say about this image, and we've used hashtags to help it spread to the right people, and we've popped in our location so that basically people that come across it, if they're interested, they can see the area from the post of where we're based. The hashtags help them to know it's going to reach people in Suffolk and it's about holiday cottages. That helps Instagram sort of put this to the right kind of people that might be searching and looking and interested in those particular things. So for your industry, you would use hashtags relevant to the product you're promoting. So if it was a cushion, you'd use the word cushion. That would then recommend other words like cushions. And it might have other terms like handmade cushion, or it might have lots of recommendations as to what you should be using for that. And then obviously if it's fabrics, type in hashtag fabric and it will recommend popular terms, and just use ones that are relevant to the image. Obviously if it's telling you to use purple cushion and it's not purple, obviously don't use that. You're just looking for relevant hashtags to the image to help people that are searching to actually find it. So yeah, very basic. You then hit share, that would then post it to Instagram. And like I say, covering the actual product tagging, I'll cover in a separate video because that's a bit complicated. That may be something that once we have your online shop built, we need to sit and do together. So yeah, hopefully this just gives you the Instagram basics. You may already be doing this, you may already know it, but it's just good to have a refresher. And this is kind of how I do Instagram for my customers, so I know it's a format that works pretty well. And it really is all about nice photographs. Bear in mind, Instagram photos are very square. So when you take photos for Instagram, you want to make sure you're taking them in a sort of format that works for square. Yeah, I hope that helps, and I'll pop the link into the product tagging videos. And like I say, that's something we may have to cover separately, but this should get you up and running with Instagram to start with. Thanks for watching.